Okay, boys and girls, I'm gonna start a new project. It's gonna be a big project and very long one, and I hope this project will bring me a lot of followers, and also I plan to have a lot of fun doing this project. So yeah, and I have to mention that there is a lot of similar projects on YouTube, and most of them never been finished. So I plan to do it better, and I plan to finish my project. And you probably know from the thumbnail it's gonna be a coilgun project. So let's begin. So let's start from the basics. Here you can see the nail. You can move it back and forth because I did a great job by hanging this nail on a rope, so that's why it can swing. Okay, now let's take a simple coil like this, just one turn with a big radius. So when you run the current through the coil, this coil creates magnetic field, and this field tries to suck the nail in the middle of the coil. And here we can start to move this nail back and forth. You can see it here. But the forces are very weak. Okay, now let's try another coil. This coil has much more turns and it's smaller, which means the magnetic field will be much closer to the nail and it will interact with it with bigger force. Okay, I'll try not to touch the nail. Okay, this time you can see it works much better. Okay, and now the fun part begins. You see this nail? I cut the end of it and make it projectile. And also I made this coil. It has a lot of turns. I didn't count it. And check this out. It fits almost perfectly inside the coil. So can you guess what's gonna happen? I connected my power supply, and 3, 2, 1. Wrong cable. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and it disappeared. And now let me show you something. If you connect the wire, and this is not what I expected. So once again, if you just connect the wire, one more time, hold on. So if you just connect the wire like that, the nail getting sucked in. So what you really need, it's just a short pulse of an electricity or current, whatever. So you just need a short pulse, and basically you need to switch off this coil right when the projectile will be in the center of the coil, so the projectile can continue to move. Otherwise it will suck back inside the coil. Okay, one more time. Projectile is here, and now it's inside. I can play with it all day long. And now compare it to the short pulse. Yeah, let's jump it back. And now compare it to the short pulse. Wrong cable again. And now compare it to the short pulse. Nice. So if you want to send projectile to the moon, like this, you need a good coil, high current and precise timing. Piece of cake, I can make it. But you cannot just take the coil and plug it like this, because you see, okay, focus. There is a lot of sparks, especially when there is high current. You will just weld the contacts and you will never shoot your coil. So for my piece of cake I cannot use buttons because it will burn the contacts, and yeah, I will be using these powerful MOSFETs. They can switch high currents with no problem. And as a source for high current, I'm gonna use this kind of capacitors. This one rated for 450 volts, and there will be a lot of them. Okay, but first, before making the actual coil gun, I have to do a lot of tests. This is my test charging and fire system. This is my test capacitor, and yeah, this is my test coil. Okay, let's load the projectile. Let's charge it up. Up to 23 volts, maybe. Yeah, it's fine. And let's fire. Yay! It doesn't work. Can you guess why? Okay guys, one more time. This time it worked. Okay, look carefully. Here is the projectile. And it's stuck. So the main reason why it doesn't work as it should, why it doesn't send projectile to the moon, you see all these thin wires and these loose connections. All these thin wires and loose connections creates a lot of resistance to the current, and our high current at the end here in the coil is very low, in fact. And the second reason why it's failed, as I said before, we need precise timing, and this time I tried to control the timing with my finger. It's not the best tool for it, and next time I will use something more precise and more controllable.
3 days later.
So this is a YouTube, and here's the capacitor bank. Please don't try this at home. So first let's charge the capacitors. Okay, first let's try the sparks. It was a quite big one. Let's try again. So here you can see what's gonna happen with your buttons and other mechanical switches, and this is why you need some kind of MOSFET. And now I want to bring the light down, so maybe you will see the sparks better. So capacitors are fully charged and we can start our experiment. And for my next experiment I want to try to connect this coil to the capacitors without any electronics. I just want to touch it like so and see what's gonna happen. So here is our target, and here is the simplest coil gun ever. 3, 2, 1. Holy smokes. Okay, so here is the real power. Let's try it one more time. I think you will see it better. Okay, 3, 2, 1. So remember what I told you about timing. So if timing is wrong, the coil may shoot backwards. And this is exactly what happened right now. You see this dent here? So my coil shoot backwards and projectile hit the capacitor. So now I moved my capacitors away in case projectile will fly from the other side. Okay, let's charge the capacitor. 3, 2, 1. Wrong timing again. 3, 2, 1. So next time I plan to bring the voltage up to 45 volts and also add the control circuit to control my timing. And also next time I want to try to measure the speed of the projectile, so we will have some point of reference and optimize my coil gun furthermore. So I'm very excited about this project. It looks very promising and I think you are excited as well. So see you in my next video. Bye!